Welcome to Great Online Training. This is Naidu. I'm a SaaS trainer and programmer. In this video, I'm going to explain a series of videos on SaaS clinical programming interview question and answers. Now the next question is, what is protocol? If you just see, protocol is a document will have the information of all the details. What is the chemical molecule of this particular drug, and when we are giving this particular drug to the patients, how many days, how many patients we are recruiting, and these are many things we need to keep in mind while working with a protocol. Okay, so while reading the protocol, so protocol will have a first one is the title. Okay, the title is here. Every protocol have this title. Okay, in interview you'll ask you that, can you just tell me the title of your last project, what you are working? You can tell that. Okay, this is the just a dummy title I'm just giving to you, so that you can use this type of title anywhere. Okay, maybe you can use a different title. It's an 8-week double blind randomized multi-center parallel group active controlled study comparing the safety and efficacy of drug 009 150 450 mg 150 mg 75 mg to compared with drug 5 mg in patients with essential hypertension. Okay, so this is the title. It's an 8-week double blind randomized multi-center parallel group. So in 8-week study, that means the total study is going to be completed 8 weeks in a duration. That means patient come to the hospital starting from the day 1 to up to 8 weeks only he'll be into the hospital, or maybe he'll take that medication up to 8 weeks. Double blind means even patient also don't know what drug he is taking, even investigator also don't know what drug he is giving it. It's a blinded study, double blind. Randomized, that means they are assigning that particular drug to that particular number of people. Maybe they have recruited around 13 to 1400 people or something like that. They will assign A drug or B drug or C drug or D drug. So right now total 4 drugs. 450 mg is one drug, 150 is one drug, another 75 mg is another drug, and 5 mg. Total 4 drugs we need to randomly allocate to the all the 1400 persons. So they will just allocate with it. And the purpose, what is the study, and so they have allocated, and they are going to see that it's in a multi-center. They are going to conduct this particular clinical trial on a different hospital. So that is your multi-center of this particular clinical trial. Parallel group, what is parallel group and what is crossover design? Parallel group means if the person, okay, let's say you have 2 persons. Okay, A is 1 person and as well as B is 1 person. Okay, all these 4 drugs, let's say first take 2 drugs, X and Y is 2 drugs if you have it. So we are giving initially X drug to A, Y drug to B within a duration of 8 weeks of time. Let's say 8 weeks of time we are giving X drug to A and Y drug to B, even the same for this one. Okay, within this 8 weeks, so maybe at certain point we need to change it. Okay, X drug need to be given to B person and Y drug will be given to A person. This is called a crossover design. Parallel means starting to ending of the clinical trial, the person has not changed with any drug. Suppose if the person has taken A drug at starting stage and at the end stage also the person is taking in only A drug, then that particular type of design, we call it as study design, we call it as a parallel study. If the person has taken initially as a drug, initially as X drug, and later on in the next 4 weeks of time he changed to Y drug, then this type of study we call it as a crossover design. So right now it's a parallel study, so there is no crossover. So actually if you are looking into your variables are like a treatments, like a treatment group 1, treatment group period 1 and period 2, TRT01A and TRT02A and all, that is nothing but period means 1 to first to 4 weeks is going to be period 1 and 4 to next 4 weeks is going to be period week that is your period 2. So TRT01A means all the treatment will be the same. Again TRT02A means from the 4th week onwards whatever the treatment they are taking, it will comes under that particular variable. You can able to get it in the what I can say, it's a crossover design. Active control study, that means in this particular there will be a active drug and there will be a comparator drug also. So basically they want to check that this particular drug 5 mg is much more powerful than this sorry, this particular three drugs is much more powerful than these drugs which is there in the market right now, which is there here. Like a they have tested one drug and with a different doses, like a 450 mg dose, 150 mg dose, and 75 mg dose. Which dose is working more powerful, we want to see that. So if you want to get those details, which dose is working more powerful when comparing with the already existing drug which is there in the market, so is it 450 mg is working more than your 5 mg drug which is there in the market, or else 150 mg drug is working more powerful than that, or maybe 75 mg is it's enough working more powerful? So we are just comparing it on the patients who are suffering with essential hypertension. So the title will tell you that about your clinical trial process, or maybe the total study. It's an 8-week double-blind randomized parallel group active control study comparing the safety. Safety means how safe the drug is. Generally, how safety will be measured whenever a certain injection has given to you, or maybe certain tablet has given, how safe you are after taking that. Okay, maybe the drug is working or not working, we are not worried. First of all, how safe you are getting any stomach acidity after taking that pill, or you are getting any headache after taking that pill, and that will be measured in the safety. And how effective that is, that means to, because of this particular drug, okay, my fever is reduced from 104 to 101, or maybe my fever is reduced to normal when I'm at 104 degrees centigrade, sorry, 104 degrees Fahrenheit and all, but now I reduced it to normal 98.4, I just came. So that is like a efficacy. How effective the drug is, that different story. But what in this particular clinical trial, they want to check it as it's a phase 3. So they want to do the how safe the drug is, and as well as they want to identify how effective the drug is also, they want to identify. Okay, and when comparing with this drug, mainly for people who are suffering with essential hypertension, by looking into the essential hypertension disease, that means this particular therapeutic area is comes under your cardiology. Okay, this particular drug is comes under cardiology study, you are working on it. The study purpose is very simple. All this particular analysis, you are mainly doing it to get an approvals of this particular drug by the market. That is the purpose. Any clinical trial, the purpose is very simple, to get approvals from the FDA, or maybe that local regulatory body, whatever it is, to get that approvals. So they will do this all this clinical trial. That is a purpose. Another key important thing you need to keep in mind while reading the protocol is, what is the primary objectives, why they want to do this clinical trial, what is the key primary objective it is, what it is, you need to just read it. That will be differ from protocol to protocol. What is the primary objectives on that particular clinical trial, what is the secondary objectives in the clinical trial, it is very important. See here, I'm just trying to talk about all the uh, uh, what I can say side headings part, or maybe just labels I'm just talking about. I'll not go in detail. So I want to just cut short my question. So here, so what is the title of that particular protocol? What is the purpose? What is the primary objectives? This is very important. Whenever you go for it, they will ask you, can you just tell me in the last project of your primary objectives and what is the key secondary objectives in your study? If they're asking you, so you need to be ready with that particular what is the primary objective and what is the secondary objective and all. And apart from that, populations, which populations they are creating, is it a safety population, and as well as analysis set, or maybe DLT evolution population, or maybe like a different populations. What are the different populations? So we have it here. We will get it per protocol set population if you want it, and analysis, full analysis set population, or maybe safety analysis set population, like a different population sets what need to be created, they'll also mention in your protocol. How you derive it and all will be written in your spec. Okay, so spec will begin designed based on your SAP only, statistical analysis plan. So statistician will take a protocol as a source to develop a SAP. So SAP is the source for your developing of your analysis dataset specification or SDDM dataset specification. That's up to you. Right. So the next one is inclusion criteria and exclusion criteria. Who are all included? Suppose imagine if you are recruiting around 1500 members, all the 1500 members will not be participate in the clinical trial. Few members maybe they get eliminated, or maybe removed from this particular clinical trial. That we call it as a inclusion and exclusion criteria. How many are included in this clinical trial? How many are excluded? Or how many are enrolled, how many are dose has given? That means it's a safety population set. Okay, like that, all the details you can able to get it by just using this particular inclusion criteria and exclusion criteria and all. And apart from that, the key thing you need to understand is how the doses has given. And when you are asking a patient to come to the hospital total 8 weeks of study, if you just say we are asking patient to come to the total 8 weeks, okay, within this particular duration, when the first time came to the hospital category 1 and washout means we are allowing a patient to what I can say, just allow not to take any drug. Maybe just imagine the patient is already suffering with BP or maybe hypertension, he may take some medications. So what we do is washout means we are allowing that particular patient not to take any medication until our clinical trial. Washout period means we are allowing the patient not to take any medication. By the time what happens, is there any medication is already in his body, so that will be get excreted from the urine or maybe from the sweat or maybe from the tools, and it will be get excreted from the body. So that so we will allow that particular time, that we call it as a washout. And single blind means we'll try to give this particular drug, so that is a single blind drug to the patients, so that why the single blind things we will do is to really check that the patient he is lying or he is really responding to that particular drug, and all to check it we just do a single blind. Also we do double blind treatment. Also double blind treatment means exactly these drugs we will give it in this particular time. So, and the visitor, you can see that this all the clinical trial of total 8 weeks of study is divided into 5 to 6 weeks of sorry 6 visits. For the first visit, washout, they are not giving any drug. Second visit, so they are just collecting some information. What information they are collecting on the first time when they come to for the first time hospital, they are taking a informed consent. What is informed consent? That means the person is signing that he is ready to taking the medication. Okay, so that's the reason why he is signing on the document, so that he'll fill this particular form called informed consent form. And when coming to the two, it is nothing but exclusion and inclusion criteria. Persons will check that is the particular person is included or excluded. Actually, this inclusion exclusion criteria, they are doing it when the person is coming to the hospital for the first time, and as well as the person is coming to the hospital second time. Also the person is coming to the hospital third time and fourth time. Also they are just checking it, is that particular person is eligible to take the medication or not. Once the person is taking a medication, they will not check inclusion and exclusion criteria one more time, because the inclusion and exclusion criteria is required until taking the medication only. Okay, is there any medical history per patient? You can see that medical history, when the person has giving that demographic information and medical history information. Demographics and medical history we will collect at only one time only. One patient for one record only is possible in your demography, but your medical history you will have one patient for multiple records. Let's say demographic information, we said that to take it on first time, so that we will ask that person date of birth, sex, race, ethnicity and all, we will take it under demography. Medical history, we will take that is there any medical history happened, that means you are already suffering with any cancer, or maybe you are suffering with any HIV, or maybe you're suffering with some gastric problems or any of those things. So we will just code it that it comes under medical history. How many times medical history is capturing in according to this particular clinical trial? It's just only one time. You can see it here in your data right now. So let me wipe off everything. So one time the medical history, they are just collecting it here. And apart from that, so you can see that every examination ECG, how many times they are taking it. This into marks is nothing but as the patient is come to the hospital total 6 times. Okay, within that each 6 times, how and what type of information they are collecting it, you can able to get it on the assessment schedule table. So in the protocol, you need to must know about what is the title of the study, and we also call this particular name it as a what is the study design, also we call it as a, and study purpose, and the primary objective of primary objectives of that particular clinical trial. What is the secondary objective of the clinical trials? What are the different populations we need to derive in this particular clinical trial? And what is the inclusion criteria, what is the exclusion criteria, and as well as assessment schedule, like on this particular total 8 weeks of duration in a 6 times a patient is coming to the hospital. So we need to know that how the patient has gone for the treatment with the day wise, day 2, day 1 to day 6 wise, total 6 days he is coming it on the day 1, whatever the activities they are performing it. Wherever it is into mark, that means they are just testing that particular information. Okay, so if they are taking a blood pressure, The BP they are checking on first time also, second time also, third time also, fourth time also, fifth time also, sixth time also. So total all the times they are checking it, because as it is a hypertension study, so that it will show the effect on the BP. So that is this particular drug is working before and after to measure it. They will always check this information, blood pressure, according to the study. It is not mandatory for all the remaining clinical trials. They'll take a blood pressures and all. This assessment schedule will be differ from study to study. So that will be based on your protocol will tell that. So here I'm just giving you this dummy assessment schedule, so that you will need to understand per patient, per how many records you are getting, because what is the reason. Okay, in your data set, when you are looking at one patient for one record, means the patient we collected the information only one time. Suppose imagine the same patient we have it two times, that means maybe the same information we collected twice in the data set. If you see inclusion and exclusion criteria, we can have it one patient for multiple records. Okay, so that you can able to get it here. And you can see that day zero, what is the day zero? Before clinical trials, before giving that particular medication, all the days we call it as a negative days. That means those are all pre-baseline. Okay, pre-baseline, post-baseline, on baseline. What is the difference between baseline and pre-baseline? Baseline means before giving a drug to the patient, how the patient condition is going to be, is a baseline. Okay, you just came to the hospital today, we collected and we taken all the information from you, and this is the baseline. Okay, this is how your condition before giving a drug. That is all the before baseline. Suppose tomorrow they will give a drug to me, but today I just come because my health conditions and everything is right or not, to check it, just come to the hospital. That is going to be your pre-baseline. Tomorrow when you come to the hospital and they are giving a medication to you, that is going to be baseline. So all the persons are getting treated on the baseline. After taking that particular drug, how the patient is reacting is going to be post baseline. Pre-baseline, baseline, and post-baseline. Okay, so these are the terminologies you need to keep in mind while working with this particular SAS programmer role. And this is the key things you need to keep in mind. If somebody asks you what do you know about the protocol and study, means it's a title, a purpose, a primary objective, secondary objectives, inclusion criteria, exclusion criteria, and assessment schedules. That's it. What you understand based on the protocol means you try to answer these questions.